Kid Nation, what is going on? Welcome to our first video series official of the new training, learning series, whatever you want to call it. Fundamentally, don't really care what you want to call it, educational series. As you know, if you look at my channel currently, we have a lot of old videos, which are fundamentally really good. It starts off with wherever lesson number 1, basics of setting up TA and charts, naked RSI, explanation of EMAs, and so forth and so forth. And this video series is going to start off where what videos you should watch of the old ones and of the new ones that are going to come after this, which fundamentally will be these videos, except maybe with a little bit updated information, a little bit of new knowledge that I've learned over the years. I've spent over, I don't even know, 40,000 hours doing this shit, my dudes. If you're new, I have done this a lot. I have done so much trading, so much chart watching, even just on stream alone in the last, I don't even know, 4 years at this point. I think I've put in at least 10,000 of those hours. Well, maybe closer to 7. Maybe I'm being a little facetious. And by that I say I'm in no way a professional. Everything I say is for entertainment purposes only. Please seek a financial advisor before making any financial decisions. That being said, it's this introductory video won't be anything about TA in a sense. It'll be more about things that you should know when you're getting into trading, if you want to get into trading. And most of the time I don't recommend it because trading, a lot of people don't know, but it is gambling. You'll have these people out there trying to tell you smart money concepts or fucking ICT, or as I like to call it, I can't trade. All these little fucking shoobity doobity words to make them sound smarter than they are, to sell you a course, to sell you something. But fundamentally, it's just gambling analysis. Nobody knows the future. Nobody knows how the future is going to move. The best way you can look at trading is there's a set of doors. Each door will lead to a new reality. Each door that you walk through most likely will not return to another door, meaning once a situation has happened, then that door is no longer open for the reality. For example, let's just say Bitcoin right now were to crash below today's low at 113.8, right? If you have a reality where you do a double bottom, great. If you have a reality that does a bullish divergence, great. Then there's a reality that cracks through and it goes lower, right? If you go through this door, you know what's going to happen. You know that these other possibilities are less likely of happening. That's what this game is. It's a game of possibilities. It's a game of, in a sense, patterns that play out more often than you think they do. It is, of course, the most important part of the game is money management. If you do not manage your bankroll correctly, and this is in my bankroll video, but it's very important. This video, I don't know if I'll redo this. These videos I probably won't redo because these are pretty solid themselves. There's not much else new to say. The technical analysis videos, there will be some new ones. But at its core, it doesn't matter if you throw $100,000 at it, $1,000 at it, $10,000 at it. It doesn't matter. If you're shit, you're shit. And it doesn't matter how much money you throw at the problem. You will not get better if you do not want to get better, if you do not put in the effort to get better, right? And this is why I'm so hard on people on my stream, is because it's really easy to make money trading. It's really hard to keep it. Anybody can guess at some point in time up or down. Anybody at some point in time, and that's what happens during most bull runs. Most people just bet up because they assume it's going to go up, and assuming so, they are more than often not correct. And they think they're genius traders. But fundamentally, the market's just been favoring them. The market's been favoring them because it's been a bullish market. They've been betting bullish because they're bullish, like most people are. And then when the hard part is when the gears start shifting, all that money they made, it starts bleeding out, bleeding out, bleeding out, bleeding out, which I'm sure many of you can attest to that. So step one, no matter what, start with $10. It doesn't matter how much you start with, fundamentally, like in terms of size. You're either going to start big and end up at the small amounts of money, or you're going to start small amounts of money and eventually move up to the big money, right? Because you can, I've had weeks where you think you're on top of the world, you're making so much money, I should do this for a full-time job, this, that, whatever. First 2 weeks of August are amazing. The last 2 weeks, you gave it all back and then some. It's a real big reality in this reality of trading, gambling analysis. So it is imperative that you, as my Discord name is called, slightly level-headed traders, you do have to keep a slightly level head. You do have to be a little bit crazy, because what we're doing here is crazy. But at the same time, you have to be you got to be a degen and not a degenerate. The degenerate will lose his money. A degen will make his money and keep it and laugh about it later on how he degened that money. A degenerate will cry later why he didn't take profit, why did he keep trading, why did he keep revenge trading, and so forth, and so forth. So you have to make a choice right now. Do you want to be a degen or a degenerate? And it's a fine line between the two, truly a fine line, which mostly boils down to bankroll management and the other part, keeping the money that you win, which is why I suggest whenever you are trading on whatever exchange, hopefully you're trading on BitUnix and using my referral code VRFX to get VIP 3 on BitUnix, KYC-Friendly. That being said, it's important to only keep what you're willing to lose on an exchange. Have as is in my video, my market or my bankroll management video, you have your investment into crypto and your trading crypto portfolio. Do not mix the two. The moment you start mixing the two, trading portfolio becomes investment portfolio. Oh, I'll sell a couple hundred, whatever, link, just to, re-up my trading balance, blah, 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 blah. And then you will be like, that's a slippery slope you'll go down, because then you have to, number one, make back the money that you lost, make back the money that you sold in your investment portfolio. So do not do that. The step one is what you have in your trading portfolio, and that's the amount of money that you will have. And at the start, it shouldn't be more than $10. Yes, you might have $20,000, $10,000, $100,000 that you're willing to trade with. But when you start, if you've never done it, start with $10. For the love of God, you're going to notice really, really fast how fast you can lose $10. And imagine if that was 1,000. Imagine if that was 100,000. You'll notice, hey, I'm kind of shit at this. Thank God I didn't lose more money. All right. So that's kind of the introductory that I kind of wanted to give to start off these videos. You can watch all my previous videos right now, and I highly recommend you do, because many people have watched them 5 times, 10 times until it sticks. Because what I do is, I've never had a trading course. I've never read a trading book. I've fundamentally done everything by myself. Everything that I watch on streams, I call it autism, whatever. But it's just very hard amount of work that I've put into to try and find patterns, to try to find ways to break the market, to try to find what works, what doesn't work. And let me tell you right now, head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, Cupman handles, whatever it may be, all that shit is garbage. Fundamentally, it all breaks down to a trend line and a little bit of RSI and a little bit of stochastic RSI. And some people might say, oh wow, that's what you're doing is noob. You should be using blah, blah, blah. And don't just use whatever I do as a method of what you should do, because you can't replicate what I do, bro. I put 40,000 hours into this. You haven't. I have. You can look at my trading techniques, you can look at what I look at, but you don't see what I see. Well, most of the time. That's why when I say on my stream, do you guys see the vision? That's what I mean. I can see things even though you might not see it. I see things because I've looked at this for 40,000 fucking hours. So, with that being said, I think that is the intro video for now. I don't really have a script. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head as I do this. But the most important thing is to find something that works for you. Maybe you use some other indicators that you see someone else using and you implement it into your own strategy and you like that, and maybe it's something that I don't see, or maybe because I don't want to see because I've already developed something already in long enough time that I can just work off what I have and I don't need to add on to what I have. But maybe you don't like something that I do and you like something that someone else does, and you implement it and you create your own strategy, right? That's what it's all about. That's what your first 3 months should be about, right? Not fucking 100x leveraging with like half of your portfolio on a trade, right? So it's really important for everybody to realize that this is a journey. It's a long trading journey. Some people are faster. Some people have it, whatever it is, and it is the gambling ability. Back in the day when I used to do a little bit of coaching, some people just don't have that gambling trigger, man. If you're not a gambler in a sense, you may not do well in this space. In a sense, you don't have to per se be a gambler, but you have to have that trigger finger. If you don't have that trigger finger, you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe, then you're not confident in yourself. You're not confident in yourself, you're not going to make good trades. That's all it is. Half of this is just following your rules. There's never been a good trader without rules. If you don't follow your rules, you don't set a TP, you don't, whatever, you're not always going to be right. Some situations might look like, oh, it's totally not a short. I think last night someone on my stream was like, oh, should I short? And the stochastics were like over here or something like that. I'm like, you really want to short oversold stochastics? And fundamentally, it did keep going down. Now, to be fair, it was around here, which fundamentally wasn't a good short, fundamentally, like in my eyes, because yeah, it went down lower, but then you would have ridden the elevator for free, right? So there is that kind of aspect that people don't realize about it, getting the right position. Up position doesn't mean it's the right position. And even if you do get up position, did you get the position late? And if you did get the position late, are you going to take profit faster? Because you're not holding a trade from 3,700 Ethereum, you're suddenly starting to hold a trade from 3,680 Ethereum. And if it goes to a key trend line like 3,650, are you going to take profit? Or is your brain going to be like, no, see, I was right, it's going to go lower, and then it doesn't, and then you're riding the elevator for free, and then you close it here, and then it goes lower, right? So it's a very tough mental game, and that's why I stick to the rules that I have, because I know 90% of the time, if I open up a position on an oversold 9-minute, there's probably a pretty good chance that it's probably going to go back up. Sometimes it goes down, can't always get it right. Kind of like when you take profit, like if you would have taken, let's say 50% profit at the oversold stochastic RSI here, well, it did go lower. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes whatever. You're not playing to be right every time. You're playing to be right over time. Okay? Sometimes you're gonna snipe it perfectly, you're gonna play it perfectly, you're gonna feel like a fucking king. And sometimes it's not gonna do what you think it's gonna do, because who the fuck knows what the market's truly gonna do? Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it looks like it's about to go up, sometimes it looks like it's about to go oversold, but it goes halfway on the stochastic and then denies, like here on the 27-minute earlier today. Like, oh yeah, it should go to overbought. Oh no, it didn't dip. Oh, now overbought. Oh, right? It's hard. It's not easy. But it's easier if you set up rules for yourself. It's easier if you have good bankroll management. If you don't set up rules for yourself, if you don't have bankroll management, sure, you can make money. But hot money is fast money, and fast money disappears very fast. So I hope you learned a little bit here. I hope this was an interesting introductory video. And I hope to see you on my next videos. coming as soon as possible. And as always, Naked Nation, take care. Brush your hair, scrub your scalp. I'm out.